There's been mixed reactions following comments made by the General Superintendent of the Deeper Life Christian Ministry, Pastor William Kumuyi, who on Tuesday said that God will use President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to build Nigeria. Kumuyi spoke with journalists in Oshogbo ahead of the Global Crusade program of his ministry. The cleric also urged Nigerians to forget the past and support the new ministers recently appointed by the president and believe that God will also use them as instruments to build Nigeria.
Those ministers that have been chosen in the cabinet, they are not new people that have never done anything. If you look at them one by one, you'll see the good things they've done, either as state governments in the past, state governors rather, or as other ministers. And they have been, I would say, carefully chosen. If we support them, if we are not, criticizing every step and they don't know where to start, if we accept them and we believe that God will work through them, He'll use them as instruments to build our nation, let's forget the past. This is a new day. And I believe, and we all believe, we're going to see new things for our country through our president and through the members of the cabinet. Good things will happen.
Well, unfortunately, I think it's that part that he said, forget the past, that got a lot of people talking. Let me take some reactions. This person wrote, was it not the same thing you said during Buhari's tenure, sir? We're beginning to doubt your integrity. And that's a picture, I believe that was from Premium Times, when he said that God would give Buhari solution to Nigeria's problems in 2017. Another Twitter user there goes, new things don't happen with faulty foundations. And the Bible said Elijah repaired the altar that was brought down by Jezebel. It was on this basis that Elijah was able to call down fire. You don't call for fire when the altar is broken. The foundation through which this government came in is faulty, and new things can't happen. Your constituent, Ayo, I'm coming to you because, by the way, Ayo you're a pastor, aren't you?
I'm proudly so. I'm
Yes.
a Christian, and I find it interesting that I must say that Pastor Kumuyi is a man that I respect a lot.
Yes.
And he's been in the faith, he's been a leader in the faith for many years. And I like that the tweet actually drew the fact that he's been consistent in his message. What do you expect from a pastor whose message is on forgiveness and healing? And did you expect him to come out and say, no, punish him? And then you're teaching the Bible to a man who is a scholar in that. So he probably knows what he's saying. Mm-hmm. The Bible enjoins Christians to pray for their leaders. And so in line with that, he's asked us that, okay, no matter what happens, one thing people of faith always say is that no matter the economy is going to favor me, God can use anybody, even the devil, to promote his action. So I think it's important to highlight that. Mm-hmm. He's a dealer in hope as well. They often say that pastors are dealers in hope. They are there to give hope to people. He's not there to make people feel even more despondent and feel absolutely terrible. So he's worked and acted in his office. Mm-hmm. He's spoken according to his faith. Anyone can disagree with him. That's everybody's right. But whether it's Buhari, whether it's Tinubu, his position is to pray for those in authority, to hope that God will use them and that it would work well for Nigeria, which he did. So.
Yes, absolutely. I know you wanted to say something.
I completely agree with Ayo. As a Christian, your position is always going to be pray for your leaders, hope that they do well. And I know that I can very clearly say there are people I did not vote for in Nigeria, but I still want them to do well. I know that a few of my friends will say, and their I will agree with as well. Mm-hmm. There is still a case in court regarding this government.
Right.
So until that is resolved, it's going to be difficult for anybody to completely throw their weight behind the current government. So in view of that, we'll say wait. But during that waiting period, Don't you want President Tinubu to do well for Nigeria? Do you want Nigeria to go to war because he's not being affirmed by the Supreme Court yet? Do you want Nigeria to go to shreds and pieces during the time? So the waiting time as well, there's still got to be prayers. During that waiting time, there's still got to be prayers to support to make sure that the nation does well. And if the decision of the court is positive or negative, whatever it turns out to be, then we'll go with that.
Well, all right. Well,
hello and welcome to the channel. The Lagos State Chairman of the African Action Congress AAC, Ayoyinka Oni, has berated the General Overseer of Deeper Life Church, Pastor Williams Kumuyi, over his recent statement about President Bola Tinubu's administration. In a press statement made available to Sahara reporters on Thursday, Mr. Oni said Pastor Kumuyi was wrong for claiming that Tinubu and his ministers will drive the country forward. Kumuyi on Tuesday said Nigerians will see new things through President Tinubu's administration. The cleric affirmed that the president's new cabinet was carefully chosen, adding that it is composed of people with records. Addressing journalists ahead of the monthly global crusade of the church scheduled for Oshogbo on Thursday, Kumuyi said, "This is a new day, and I believe, we all believe that we are going to see new things for our country through our president and through the members of the cabinet." Reacting to this, the AAC Lagos chairman said Pastor Kumuyi's church, Deeper Life, would not have been in existence 50 years after its establishment if the cleric had managed it the way Tinubu and his men are presently governing Nigeria. The church was founded by Kumuyi in 1973, 50 years ago. Oni said, "Let us ask Pastor Kumuyi if this is how he built his ministry. Did he build it with corruption, wickedness, oppression, lies, and indiscipline? If it was so, Deeper Life Bible Church would not be standing today after 50 years with so much success, even beyond church growth, but also in education, human development, and more. This is the Pastor Kumuyi who doesn't tolerate indiscipline among his members, workers, and ministers, but he wants us to accept it as a country. Workers and ministers in Deeper Life who err in the doctrine of the Bible and the church are always disciplined openly. Most of the time they are removed from their positions, yet Kumuyi wants corrupt leaders in the country to continue. What such a double standard? Don't spiritual principles apply to politicians? Are they beyond repentance and the judgment of God? Are spiritual principles only meant for the poor and low in the society? That's the news, guys. Thanks for listening. Until next time.